Welcome to another deep dive.
Hey there.
Today we're unpacking really a strategic masterclass from the world of competitive gaming. It's Match A5, Tira versus Val, part of this thing called a League of Legends Subpersonalities tournament.
Right.
And our mission basically is to dissect this high-stakes game, understand the key decisions, under pressure, and figure out what it tells us about different team philosophies clashing.
Yeah, and what's really cool here, I think, is that this wasn't just like fast fingers button mashing.
Right.
It was a deep strategic chess match. Two really different approaches.
Okay.
So we're going to trace how one team's very disciplined, methodical style clashed with the other's super aggressive all-in assault.
From start to finish.
Pretty much, yeah. From the first moves to the final moments. And for you listening, this is kind of like a shortcut to understanding some pretty complex game strategy.
And how tiny things can have big results.
Exactly. How small choices can ripple through the whole match. The deep dive. Tira versus Val. A clash of strategies.
Okay, let's get into it. Two distinct teams, right? Clear identities. We've got Tira's team Arcane Strategist and Val's team Precision and Discipline. So, right from the start, the champion select phase where they pick their characters. What did those picks tell us? What were they aiming for?
Well, if you look at Tira's team, they picked Swain, Fiddlesticks, Karma, Varus, Morgana. That lineup screams zone control.
Meaning they dictate where the fights happen.
Pretty much, yeah. And layered defenses plus scaling, getting stronger as the game goes on.
Right, the late game power.
Exactly. Especially with their area of effect, their AoE abilities, hitting multiple people. Now, that's like a total contrast to Val's team.
Which was?
Fiora, V, Irelia, Samira, Leona. They prioritized dive-heavy engage.
Jumping right on top of people.
Yeah, jumping on key targets, high tempo, meaning fast-paced play, and these really powerful all-in win conditions. If they get a good fight, they win decisively.
So defensive and methodical versus aggressive and decisive. Polar opposites.
You got it. Straight away, you knew this was going to be a clash of styles.
Okay, so given those picks, these different philosophies, how did that translate into, like, actual strengths and weaknesses for each side?
Well, it raises that key question of counter strategies, doesn't it? Tira's strength was their really solid anti-dive setup.
Anti-dive, meaning they stop the enemy jumping on them.
Correct. Think Morgana's black shield stops stuns and roots.
Crucial.
Totally. And Karma's shields, Swain's crowd control, they were great in team fights around objectives like dragons or Baron. And Fiddlesticks, he was this constant threat from the fog of war,
Popping out of nowhere. Scary stuff.
Exactly. But the flip side, they were kind of slow, less mobile, vulnerable to getting snowballed early if Val got ahead fast.
Okay, and Val, their strengths.
Oh, Val had duelists and divers all over the place. Fiora, Irelia, Villiers, great in those early skirmishes, mid-game fights.
They wanted chaos.
They thrived in it, yeah. They could win fights super cleanly if they executed well. But their weaknesses, well, they struggled against disengage.
Tira just backing off.
Right. Or getting poked down from range. They really needed that momentum, needed those perfect flanks, those perfect engages to work. If Tira denied that, Val was kind of stuck. Early game, 0-15 minutes. The first moves on the chessboard.
All right, the early game often sets the tone, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So what were the key moments when these strategies first collided?
Okay, so early on, top lane, you had Fiora the duelist really putting pressure on Swain.
Mishing him, yeah.
Yeah, getting an early lead. But Swain, he played it smart. Held his turret using this clever root baiting.
Luring her in.
Basically, yeah. Making her waste her moves. Mid lane, though, different story. Karma just kept Irelia pushed under her tower.
Shoved in, denying roam.
Exactly. Stopped Irelia from influencing other lanes. And in the jungle, Vi went aggressive, invaded Fiddlesticks, forced his flash spell early.
A win for Val initially.
Looked like it, but Fiddle's patience, well, that paid off later. Down in bot lane, Val's Samira and Leona, they were looking for fights constantly. Aggressive.
Always looking for the engage.
But Morgana was just brilliant with the black shield, blocked every Leona engage attempt, let Varus just farm safely, get his items.
Item spike, right.
Yep, hitting that key power point.
Okay, but then comes this really interesting moment. Fiddlesticks, even though he was pressured early, he hits level 6, gets his ultimate.
And bam! He gets first blood, the first kill, onto Irelia in mid lane. Perfectly timed ultimate.
Huge momentum swing.
Massive.
Right.
Because even though Val did secure the first dragon objective around 12 minutes, that Fiddlesticks ultimate, it hit 3 people with fear, completely flipped the fight right after. Tira ended up with a 3-1 kill lead.
Wow.
So, Fiddlesticks, definitely the early MVP, survived the pressure, then just turned the game on its head, mid-game, 15-25 minutes. The wall begins to form.
So, moving into the mid-game, Val gets the Rift Herald objective, uses it mid lane, takes the first tower down. It really felt like, okay, here comes Val's momentum. Their aggressive plan is working.
Right, you could feel them trying to force it.
But then Tira just activated this zoning game. What exactly does that mean? And how did it completely change the dynamic?
Yeah, this is where Tira's discipline really shone. Every time Val tried to engage, tried to dive.
They got shut down.
Pretty much. Karma shielding allies, Morgana landing those binding spells, Swain just standing there, draining health, controlling space. It was like watching them build this invisible, impenetrable wall. And that consistent disengage, that sustain, it just stopped Val getting that clean execution they absolutely needed. They couldn't burst anyone down.
Frustrating for Val, I bet.
Hugely frustrating.
And then we had that big Baron dance, around 22 minutes, teams posturing around the big objective. What happened there?
Again, Fiddlesticks.
Oh.
He was just pivotal. Throws his ultimate over the wall into the Baron pit. Pure chaos.
Didn't even need to fight directly.
Not really. It was all about area denial. Made it too dangerous for Val to stay, so Tira got full map control, vision control, even though they didn't take Baron right then.
Smart. Calculated.
Very. And while this was happening, Fiora, Val's top laner, she tried to split push a side lane alone.
Create pressure elsewhere.
Right, and she actually won her 1v1 against Swain up there. But it didn't matter as much because Tira's team just rotated faster as a group.
Better macro play.
Textbook macro play. They understood the bigger picture better, reacted quicker. Fiora won the battle, but Tira won the map tempo.
So looking back at this whole mid-game phase, who stands out? Who's the MVP here?
I gotta give it to Swain.
Even though he lost lane early?
Yeah, despite losing lane, he just became this unkillable anchor in every single team fight after that.
Because of his scaling.
His scaling, his ultimate... He just became this massive, durable, health-draining frontline threat. Val probably underestimated how quickly he'd become that strong if they didn't keep him down. Late game, 25-38 minutes, the unstoppable siege.
Okay, late game. Val makes one last big push. They force a fight at Baron around, what, 28, 29 minutes?
Yeah, 28.45. Desperate times for Val.
Vi goes in, Leona follows. Samira gets a massive 3-person ultimate off. Inferno trigger. That sounds game-winning.
It sounds it, right? On paper, that should be huge.
But it wasn't enough.
Yeah.
What went wrong for Val? Or right for Tira?
It's all about that team composition synergy again. Val throws everything in, this huge engage.
Yeah.
But Swain just hits his ultimate right in the middle of the pit, becomes this, like, unkillable drain tank. Karma shields absorb so much damage, and Varus, Tira's marksman from the back line, just expertly snipes down Irelia and Samira as they're trying to get out.
Wow. So Tira's defense just absorbed it all.
Completely absorbed the all-in, like hitting a brick wall that heals itself.
Okay, and Tira gets Baron off that fight.
Yep. Secured Baron. Then, a few minutes later, around 35 minutes, they get the Elder Dragon too. Another huge buff.
Double buffs. That's usually game over, isn't it?
Pretty much seals the deal, yeah. With those buffs, Tira just methodically sieged Val's base. No rush, just coordinated pressure.
And the final push, how did that go down?
It was textbook. Around 37 minutes, Fiddlesticks ults past the inhibitor tower deep into their base.
Zoning them off?
Exactly. While Morgana uses her abilities to control space, stop Val getting into position, even when Fiora, Val's duelist, managed to slip past the front line.
They're going to get the carry.
Yep. But Varus just skillfully kited her, kept distance while attacking using his slowing arrow field, helped by Karma speeding him up.
Beautiful coordination.
Flawless. Tira wins that final fight 4 kills for 1, pushes straight through, and ends the game. Patience and positioning, overcoming raw aggression, match summary, and key insights.
So Tira takes the win, 38 minutes, 20 kills to 15. A real high-stakes chess match, like you said. Right. Looking back, who are the absolute standouts for Tira?
I mean, the overall MVP, you just can't argue with Fiddlesticks.
Yeah, his impact felt huge.
His stats were good. 6 kills, 2 deaths, 11 assists, but that doesn't tell the whole story. It was those 3 massive game-changing ultimates. His control of vision, the fog of war, the way he punished every Baron attempt by Val, he just tilted the whole game.
Anyone else deserve a shout-out?
Definitely got to give an honorable mention to Karma.
The shielding.
The consistent shielding, yeah, the slows, helping reposition people. She just created so much space for Varus to deal damage and constantly denied Val's attempts to go all in, really enabled the whole strategy.
Yeah, that makes sense. And I love this final thought from our notes here. This was a textbook display of discipline versus discipline, except Tira's was more flexible. Val's team came out strong and hungry, but Tira's squad simply never gave them a clean opening. The longer the game went, the more inevitable it felt. The storm couldn't crack the wall.
It nails it, doesn't it? It just underlines that, look, Val played their aggressive plan pretty well. They executed some things nicely.
They did.
But Tira's defensive scaling comp plus those huge individual plays, especially from Fiddlesticks, it just let them absorb all that pressure, wear Val down, and dictate the game's pace. A masterclass in resilience, really.
So what's the takeaway for you, the listener? This deep dive, this one match, it kind of shows that in these complex systems, games, real-world stuff, whatever, sometimes the flashiest, most aggressive plays, they just aren't enough. Not if you're facing a coordinated, patient defense that knows how to adapt and scale up.
Yeah, it really makes you think, doesn't it? How often do we see that? Like initial bursts of energy or momentum just fizzle out against strategies that are more methodical, more flexible, focused on long-term control and just perfectly executing their counter move.
Right.
So maybe a question for you to chew on is, where could you apply that idea? Building that unbreakable wall versus relying on an all-in assault. Could be business, could be personal goals, could be, just planning your week. Where does patience beat the sprint?